All right, peace, family. How you doing? It's Mr. R2 here at Texas Black Pages. I have not really been on this platform. Of course, I do a lot of platforms, mostly on the Facebook side, mostly on the Instagram side. My goal definitely this year is really to begin to hit home from the YouTube side. So if you're watching, thank you. If you are watching, go ahead and put a thumbs up just so I can know that you can actually hear me. This is my very first YouTube live, so I just need to know that you can actually hear me and I'm not really talking to myself. So just let me know that you can hear me by putting a thumbs up or put in the chat that you can hear me instead of just watch, because that lets me know that what I'm doing is actually working. Technology is going to do whatever is going to do. So, yeah, let me know. All right, so let's begin to line out, some of our thoughts and how do you uh lay foundation to your thoughts. Before I start, let me write this number down before I forget. Someone sent me a number today. 6, 8, 3. All right, so let's talk about how do we put out the whiteboard. So, yeah. All right, so I got the whiteboard today. And let's begin to structure our thoughts. How do you lay foundation to your thought process? Honestly, for me, when I begin to lay down the foundation, how do I structure my thought process? I really actually begin to take process of thought. What does that mean? That means actually begin to line out my direction. Which direction do I want to go? Do I want to stay and sit? So stay and sit within your thoughts is to actually begin to meditate on your process. Actually begin to meditate on what you really want to accomplish and how do you accomplish those things. Really begin to lay the foundation and lay the fabrics of your particular thoughts. So, like when they say write the vision and make it plain, you really have to write the vision. Sometimes the foundation of your vision is not going to be plain, but the main thing that you have to do is to actually get it out of you. Because once you begin to get that thought and to get that vision out of you, you're going to be able to see it from a different light. You're going to be able to see it from a different perspective. Why? You actually look at it in its physical form. Because when it is inside of your head, what happens is it stays inside of your head. And when you look at it, sometimes it when it stays in your head, it's going to feel like it makes sense to you. But then when you begin to write it down and you begin to take it out of your head and begin to make it plain to you, it may begin to take shape. And when it begins to take shape, that's how you begin to say, okay, this doesn't look right. So the first thing that you do, especially with your thought, the foundation of your thought should be the extraction out of your head. So the first thing that you need to do is to extract. You're going to need to extract that thought. All right. So the extraction of your thought is the beginning of the process that you're going to do that is going to allow it to take shape. So again, number one is the extraction. So number two, into developing of the foundation of your thoughts is after you extract it, you're going to have to write it. And you begin to write that thought. Now, when you write your thought, there are certain ways that you can begin to write that thought. Sometimes some people are going to write it in the paragraph format. Writing it in the paragraph format to you, if that's the style of writing that you want to do to extract that thought, if the writing it in the paragraph format is going to allow you to visualize it, then let that be your format. So there's several writing formats that I want you to look at. So, one writing format is the paragraph, and the second writing format is some people's going to say boxes. So, you're going to write it, you're going to put it in the box form. All right. So, what does the box format look like for you? That means you put the word or the thought, and then you just put a box beside it to where you can check that box inside of your check that box if you actually begin to give it a date or to give it a suspense in order for you to actually create actionable objectives. Then the next format that you can put that thought in is into an outline format. Now, when you put that thought into an outline format, you actually really begin to give it structure. Now, putting it in a paragraph format, is it going to give it structure? Yes, it gives it structure to a certain degree, but then you might need to take it and extract it out of that paragraph format and in order for you to see it as it is from a different perspective. Like for me, after I extract my thought, I really use the box format. I really use the box form. Box form for me, it allows me to see it, and even in the box format, I can do sub formatting or sub paragraphs or sub outlines underneath. So it's kind of like washing the car. You have a task and you have your applied task. If the format of washing the car is car, and then underneath you say, I want to wash the windows or clean the windows. Under that, you want to clean the tires. Under that, you want to ensure that you clean out the car, meaning the inside in the cabin. And then if you then from there you can say, okay, what does clean out the car mean? Clean out the car means take out the trash. And then you got the sub under that. Then you got the sub under that could mean to vacuum the car. So that is where you begin to create that box format and then create the sub box format where you begin to create actions on the action items that you take. So that's where we're going to start today to begin to develop the foundation of thought, the process of thought. The first thing that you need to do is extract that thought out of your head in order for you to see it in its physical form. Then, after you extract that thought out of your head, the next thing that you need to do is to write it. And after you write that thought, you're going to have to write it in for me three simple formats. One, either a paragraph format, two, in a box format to where it's written out, then you got a box beside it, three, in a outline format. For those that remember the outline formats that you had done back in school, you can use the dots or you can use the letters or you can use numbers, whichever one is going to make it whichever one looks better to you, then that's the one you're going to use. But the main thing that you need to make sure that you do is to extract that thought out of your head, to allow yourself to manifest it in its physical form. Then once you see it in its physical form, you begin to visualize it, and then you begin to process it. So the very first two things that I need you to do when it comes to setting the foundation of your thoughts is to extract it. And then after you extract it, then you begin to write it out. Then after you write it out, we're going to bring that back and we're going to talk to you about what happens after you write your thoughts. What happens after you begin to write your vision? Because after you write your vision, that's when even in the word it tells you write the vision and make it plain. So those are the two things that we definitely want to do today to begin the structural foundation on how do you create the foundation of your thoughts, extract, and then from there you need to write it down. Hey, you guys be blessed. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.